But today we're going to talk about divorce and mourning and how real that shit is. Okay, that's another thing. You see that? I always say my wife instead of my ex-wife. Fucking habits, right? On co-parenting. We kick ass when it comes to co-parenting. And once you identify them, you're like, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, good. That makes me feel better. Where are we? We're like in September. The divorce was final in last year of July. I noticed with the divorce, what hurt the most was my idea of family unit. We were the White Oaks. We train our kids like we're the White Oaks, like smart, strong, powerful, beautiful. We could do anything and put our minds to. We said that every day with our kids. To not have that family unit anymore, that was powerfully painful. And so I've been doing great. I've done a lot of internal work, a lot of soul searching, a lot of journaling, a lot of praying, meditating, all of that. Getting back in touch with my friends again, which for me, what I did is I completely fell off the face of the earth. And it was just me and my family. And I didn't talk to really friends because I was fucking busy between the kids and marriage and building my wife's business and da-da-da-da-da. So that's another thing. You see that? I always say my wife instead of my ex-wife. Fucking habits, right? And let me say this about my ex-wife. I love her. She's the mother of my children. She's a beautiful, powerful, generous woman. And I'm grateful. That's another subject I'm going to do on co-parenting. We kick ass when it comes to co-parenting. Awesome. And for that, I am so grateful because I've heard so many horrible stories, but I got to give my ex some props, man. She's right there toe to toe with me in terms of it is about our kids and it's about the well-being of our children and making sure that they feel that they're respected, they feel valued, they feel loved, and that they feel heard. And so I've been doing my work to make sure that I'm just healing from within. I haven't dated. I moved out in April. Divorce was final in July, and now a whole year later, we're now in September. So I've been doing some fantastic work, making sure that I'm healing, right? I'm healing all of that shit, and I have some huge self-worth funk that constantly is like a little demon on my shoulder. Dealing with that little voice of healing it, right? Best way to heal is not to beat it down to the ground, but heal it with love and grace and compassion. So been doing great work, great strides. I'm to a point now where I can truly say that my ex and I have created such a great co-parenting friendship. And I had stated that in a leadership program that I was in. One of my goals was to have a 10 co-parenting friendship. But recently something happened and it turned me sideways. And we would always take the kids when we were married, we'd always take the kids to Legoland and Disneyland. Disneyland is our place. Even when they get older, Disneyland's going to be our place. My ex got married right after. Now they have their own little family unit, and for Labor Day, took them to Legoland, and that was And then I realized I woke up with such sadness yesterday because it was I could start crying. That was one of our places, and it was just. I never realized what a family person I am, and that, Legoland was one of the places that we would rent one of the rooms, and it's awesome because my son and I love Ninjago, and we rent the Ninjago room, and it was just the whole thing wrapped around that, the whole family thing, I spent a decade wrapping my mind around my identity of this is my family. This is my family unit. This is who I am. I am a mother and a wife. I still held on to the family part, and that's why we both stayed together for so long, was because of the kids. So for those of you struggling with it, if this helps you in any way, I hope it helps in terms of, I would like to say from my own experience, it wasn't that I have feelings and emotions for her anymore. It was that I have my entire identity wrapped in my family. And now my family is no longer the way that I perceived it to be in the way that it was. So, it's crazy. I've had some people say it's like a 2-year process of truly healing a marriage or a divorce because that family draws so tight. And even the tricks that the mind plays on me, I'm going to speak for myself, I know that marriage was toxic, but there's that feeling of like, that's my family, and that someone else doing that with my kids. And man, massive shifting to, they're happy. They're like, my wife's husband has an 8-year-old son, and he's a good kid. And my daughter loves him, and is proud to say that she has another brother, not to take away from any of that. I'm happy that they have that unit. It hit me hard, it hit me hard that that's my family. And I'm just healing it, coming from a place of love and grace and compassion, and healing it so that, next time, next trip, whatever it is. I mean, of course, I'm going to have my own trips. I'm going to take him to Disneyland. I'm going to take him to the beach, all of that. But that memory, how quickly it came. So those of you, if you could take anything away from this, it would be, know that it was your idea. I'm thinking, just for my own, maybe this helps you for my own. Let me speak for myself. If you're feeling this, or if you're feeling those pains and that longing and that draw, like we're divorced, but yet I'm still having these emotions, some clarity for you. Know that might not, like for me, it's not that I wanted in any way to get back with her. I just missed my family unit the way that my mind had teed it up and defined it to be. And that my life is not like that anymore. And then I'm creating my own memories with my kids. But when those situations happen, you could just kind of navigate through them easier. I woke up yesterday morning feeling that. So, the processing time, the healing time, I closed the gap in from being depressed for 3 days to I minimized it to that day, because I was constantly healing, I was reading, I was praying, meditating, talking to my friends, processing it through so that, I can get past that funk that if you allow it to, it will fucking take you down. And then what? So I want to close that gap of processing time, yeah? So for you, I hope this helped. I hope it helped in just my example, that when you're feeling these pains or something else is happening with your kids, with your ex and whatever, that ex partnership that they have, know that most likely it's probably not you wanting to be with your ex, it's just you missing the family unit. And once you identify, then you're like, I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, good. That makes me feel better, because I don't want to go back to like, oh. So I hope that helps. I'm glad we got to talk about a really important subject, because mourning, it's real. It's a real fucking thing. Mourning after a divorce, and allowing yourself proper time and a proper space to mourn. And it's okay to mourn. It's okay to feel sadness for the loss of your family, like how you used to define it. So give yourself some love and grace, give yourself some compassion, allow yourself to feel the feelings. Absolutely don't suppress them, because that will just fucking gestate to yuckiness. Allow yourself to feel it and process through it, and then you'll be able to close the gap from 3 days of depression to, closing it to just an afternoon, and you've healed it and walked through it. So that helps, and have an amazing rest of the day. Okay, bye. See this house behind me? So my friend, one of her visions and goals was take a mid-century house and redo it. It is freaking gorgeous. To take you and show you the whole house, because it's fucking awesome. So, look everywhere. Look at the windows. Can you see them, or is it too much glare? Look at that. Oh, I just love it so much. Look at that. Oh, it's like, oh, that floor to ceiling window shit. Oh God, I love it. All right, so as I'm pulling away, look at the pink freaking door. Awesome. Trip down the stairs. That would be funny. I'd keep that on camera so you could see